Okay, so I'm going to try something a little different today because I normally do lives and my lives are complete chaos. And I think it's because I almost feel like I have to do it fast or something. I don't know. So I talk fast and I ramble. Not going to guarantee that I won't ramble on this, but at least it'll be slower, easier to understand, and hopefully more directed or intentional, for lack of I think that's the word I'm looking for. Anyhow, so I thought I would try just recording a video and getting a YouTube link and posting it that way. So we'll see how this works. The dogs are currently quiet, but I won't guarantee that will last to the end of this video. And if it doesn't, I apologize because, you know, sometimes it can get pretty loud in here. So I wanted to talk about the upcoming, let me start for the holiday season. So like if you guys have not got your holiday appointments booked, you need to do that ASAP because we're almost full and it's only the 4th of December. The good news is we still have an okay amount of small dog appointments. The bad news is we are very, very, very limited on large dog appointments. Unfortunately, we don't have that many kennels for large-sized dogs, so we have to be very selective. So if you request an appointment with a large dog and it doesn't get approved, it will be because that day happens to not have any large kennels available. And you'll just get a little message saying it's not been approved and you can try for our next available appointment. Or I'll probably throw you some dates that are open for large dogs. I will try to gather up the days and what's available and just make a post on Facebook and see if that helps you guys out as well. So having said that, now the first of the year, we're going to make some changes. And I know you guys are probably a little sick of changes, but give me some grace because as we've grown in business and we've grown in employees and we've grown in what we offer, things have changed, and so I've been growing and learning as this goes. So here we grow again. We're switching booking platforms as of January 1st. And I'm switching everybody over that's in our system, so you won't have to worry about doing that yourself. But at some point you will have to log in and update your information that I don't have. And you can schedule your appointments online, just like you do with Groom More. This is going to be called Kennel Connections. And we've just found that Groom More no longer fits everything we need. So instead of having separate platforms, I found a platform that's going to have everything we need on one database without having to switch around. So it'll be a little bit of a learning curve at the beginning of the year, but once we get it figured all out, it'll be fine. I've already been in it quite a bit, switching people over as you know, so that on January 1st it'll be ready just to roll out to you guys. And so for those of you that already have January appointments, and for those of you that book out for the year, we'll come back to that later. You're going to probably hear shortly as I put your name over and I put your January appointment in or your year out appointments in, you'll get a text message from a new number. It's actually an 812 number this time. And that'll be the number that you can, respond to appointments and things like that, or even request appointments on if you don't want to just go into the platform and book it yourself. And of course, you can always still call the cell phone and do that. But if we could get as many people as possible kind of gathered to that one number, that would be awesome. So my personal phone number is not quite as busy. So like I said, it's called Kennel Connection, and it'll be ready to use January 1st, but some of you will be getting text messages from then. Now, also on January 1st, I will be, that's what happens when you play with a pen and you're talking, you drop it. So it's just going to have to stay on the floor, and I'll grab a new pen. So on January 1st, I will also be rolling out a new website. A little bit of, well, the website's definitely going to be rebranded because it's not anything like what our, it doesn't match our logo or anything like that. And just like with the Groom More link that we use now, I will put the Kennel Connection link everywhere so that you guys can just click on it and get right to where you need. I will try to make this as painless as possible, but I am not tech savvy whatsoever, so there may be a little bit of growing pains, but I'll try to keep it as easy as I can. So let's go back to booking out for the year. I am trying really hard not to raise prices again. But there is one thing I'm going to have to change, and that is any dogs that have hair maintained longer than 3/8 of an inch, which basically is a 4-blade. That requires a guard comb, a hand scissor, and a lot more drying time. So given the fact that they require more time, there is going to be a $10 upcharge on those dogs. So if you have, I don't know, an oodle, doodle, pony, skadoodle, whatever, and you keep them at 3/8 of an inch or lower, your price is not going to change. If you have a dog, and I say oodles, there's going to be a handful of double-coated dogs, but most of them are just tidies anyway. But basically anything we're having to use a guard comb and hand scissoring, and that has lots of hair that takes a lot of dry time, is going to be upcharged the $10. So if you have a doodle or a poodle and you keep it an inch long, then it'll have a $10 upcharge, or a ½ inch long, or whatever. So that's the only thing that I'm going to change. I'm going to try my best to keep everything else the same. And one way that you can keep that locked in, your price as of January 1st, you can keep it locked in for the year if you book your schedule out for the year, like book reoccurring. So like if your dog gets groomed every 6 weeks, we can book a reoccurring every 6 weeks. Not only does that lock in your price, it will also get you a discount. We have a tiered discount system. If you book every 4 or 5 weeks, you get $10 off and a free nail grind. If you, book out, pre-book, not just book, but if you pre-book every 4 to 5 weeks, you get a $10 discount and a nail grind. If you pre-book for the year 6 to 7 weeks, you get a $5 discount and a free nail grind. And then if you book for the year every 8 weeks, you get a free nail grind. And a nail grind is a $15 value. So even the 8-week is a decent deal. And it gets their nails shorter, rounded, less likely to scratch, less likely to tear up your wood floors, things like that. And it keeps their nails a little bit shorter, helps the dog's feet. So not only is it great because then you know what day your appointment is always on, we know what day your appointment is always on, we can schedule, it's easier to make sure you get in with the groomer you want, make sure you get in, on the day you want, especially in busy seasons. and it's hard to get in. For those clients that book out for the year, they don't have to stress about it. So like when somebody called me this morning and said, can I get my dog in this week? And I said, no, it's going to be 2.5 weeks. And they're like, oh no. Well, if you have your schedule booked for the year, you don't have to worry about that. So, so like I said, and it's also a good deal because you get your discount. So it's kind of a good thing all around. And I don't know if anybody's aware, but we do have a referral discount. If you refer somebody to us, you get $5 credit put on your account, as long as when they come in, that they come in for their appointment and they give us your name, and then I can go in and put a $5 discount or credit on your account. And you send me one person, you get $5. You send me 100 people, you get $500. You know, there's no limit. You always get a referral discount. Let's see, we talked about the Christmas schedule, we talked about Kennel Connection, we talked about the upcharge, we talked about booking out. Oh, hey, I'm trucking right along, and I feel like this is better than Alive so far. Let's talk about snow days, especially since we just had one. Y'all, I live here, so if you guys aren't afraid to get out, don't mind driving in it, have 4-wheel drive, whatever, unless it's just horrific, I can walk out here and take care of your dog. Now, having said that, our drive can get a little treacherous. Anytime, that's a blow dryer going, so hopefully you can still hear me. Anytime it snows or anything, my husband is out first thing on the tractor and the side-by-side trying to get things cleared and everything, but it can still get just a little hairy. So if you feel like you can't get up and down my driveway, if you feel like you can't get here, just text me or call me and say, hey, I don't think I can make it, and we'll reschedule. And there is not going to be a charge on that. I am adamant it is not worth you, your pet, or your vehicle being damaged trying to get here for a grooming appointment. We will do our best to make something work to get you in as soon as the weather breaks. So please don't hesitate to reschedule. I don't want anybody to get hurt trying to get to a dog grooming appointment. It's not a 911 situation. For those of you that come in a lot, you know that our groomer Tanika, my daughter, was pregnant. I say was, because Wednesday before Thanksgiving we got a beautiful baby girl. She is healthy and perfect, and her and her mama are home and doing well, and Tanika will be returning to work on February 1st, Lord willing. So, as long, we don't foresee any reason why not. So she should be back on February 1st. I know we've had a few of our clients ask. I'll talk to her and get permission. If she doesn't care, we'll throw a picture of the baby up so you guys can see. And then for my long-term clients that know Leah, our bather, that has been here for a couple times, every time she comes here, she gets pregnant and has to leave. Maybe it's in the water here. I don't know. But she had her babies Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and I say babies, plural. She had twins, a boy and a girl, and they are doing well also. I don't look for her to come back again. A small child under 2 and twins is going to be kind of hard to work and take care of, which I don't think that was her goal at all. So she is, I'm sure, going to be enjoying her life as a stay-at-home mommy and taking care of those precious children. So, please keep those two girls in your thoughts as they're navigating these new days with new children and trying to get in routines and all those things. And say a prayer for the baby's health and the mama's health. Both girls had C-sections, so, it's just a little bit more intensive than regular childbirth. But everybody's doing great, and God is good. So, while I'm on here, I'm going to make a separate video for that, because we're pushing 15 minutes, and I don't want you guys to have to watch a video longer than that. So, for now, I'm going to sign off and tell you all, as usual, I love all my clients so much. I love all your fur babies so much, and I appreciate you trusting us with your dogs. And when the new platform comes out and the new website comes out, I'm sure I will have a lot of questions coming in, and I will be happy to answer your questions and be looking for an announcement in the coming couple months talking about our new growth. So we'll talk to you later. You guys have a blessed day. I pray God's blessings over all of you. I love you. Goodbye.